Hi, friends.
What's up?
How are you?
Doing good? Hanging in there?
Same.
Another week. How was your week?
We got no. Actually, today
Nah, no one's watching us,
she's gonna have to watch on
we
YouTube.
can literally say anything we want right now. She's not watching us on YouTube.
She said she would. I know.
She just plays it in vacuums.
Wait, she doesn't even watch us live. I had a long week. A lot of happenings in the past 2 weeks. I'd love to share with you. So if you want to go first.
No. I want to hear these. No, go.
Okay, we'll start with.
I feel like this is a moment where I'm going to just be like, you're not going to hear too much from me.
We'll start with Brian.
Oh, yes.
So we had to say goodbye to Brian and Javier. And, that goes as well as anything else. It's like,
I don't think
when we walked away.
Well, I don't know if everyone knows because I know we talk like, because only Ashley watches us.
Yeah.
But just for the record, Brian's the young man who's always with us talking about Pride or playing games and did theater and has been in my life. Well, I think since you guys have been in high school. I met him when you guys were in high school. Mm-hmm. So he's been in your life probably even longer than that.
Like, I would calculate it was like 9 years.
Like, yeah. And he's more in your life, obviously, than mine, but he's still in my life. But we all became very, very, very close. And he met Hector. Perfect.
Are you fucking kidding me?
Yeah, go ahead, decline it. Scam likely.
Scam likely? Nice.
Perfect time to come on. Well, Ashley doesn't watch.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. Nobody's watching anyway. We should have answered it.
We should have. That should have been part of the show. Hello? You're on the live right now.
Deb.
She called in! Yeah! Finally! And we had the joke for the 5 hour. That's where he went and met this wonderful man in his life.
Hector?
Huh?
Did you call him Hector?
What is it?
Javier.
I feel like I feel like we call him every freaking Hobby.
Mm-hmm. I asked him if he had any nicknames at home, and he was like, Javi, Javito, and then he said something else, and I'm like,
the problem is I haven't met him, and I feel like I've only talked about him like 3 times. Like, besides just seeing pictures, which it's not like that's written on his. God knows I've called Brian every wrong name for the longest time too. For the longest time, I wanted him to be a Josh. Remember that? I was like, and Shannon would be like, "No, it's Brian." I'm like, "Yeah, him." Like, why am I can't think of his name? But I didn't talk to him at that point because you guys were, like right out of high school at the time. Mm-hmm. But actually, no, I think he was still in high school. Yeah, he was still in high school because he was helping Marin in theater, and he was still in. That
was his senior year.
Yeah, senior year, yeah. And I whirlwind. Brian was a whirlwind with the whole like. I feel like he met him, went to his country. A couple months later, I know it's more than that, but it feels like only a few months somewhere in there. He came here. They are now engaged, and now they're moving with their lives, and it's like, wham, 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 wham. What happened?
Yeah.
And now, for me, I'm on the outside, so I get the wham, wham, wham. You're more on the inside, so I'm sure it's a little more harder of a wham. Like you where are you moving to? I feel like just yesterday we were laughing about the 5 hour difference, and it was only an hour difference.
Yeah, and I'm very happy for him. And I always knew, like, he always talked about leaving here and going anywhere else and traveling and everything. And I knew it was happening. I didn't realize how fast it was happening.
It always goes fast.
But he's also that type where he's very adventurous. He loves to travel. He will make anything happen.
Right, yeah. He is in my life, I'm going to say, he is that typical gay man. I say that out of love because all my gay friends always seem to they're always on the go. They're just living for today. Like somehow they live their best lives, and it's like I miss something. Like sometimes like, man, how you do that? Like they just like, you know what? Today I feel like wearing blue. And you're like, yeah, but blue doesn't look good on you. And it's like I don't care today.
Yeah.
Like, I've already had to deal with so much in my life. This is the least of my problems. And they're always on a whim like that. I know everyone's different, but all my friends seem to be those guys that just, and movie niles. You know what? Like, didn't you just buy your house here? Yeah, I'm done.
Yeah.
So I'm happy. I'm happy. So that must have been.
Yeah. So it was. Why are you? What do you see on the outside, bro?
Squirrel.
Anyways, so it was supposed to be like a quick goodbye because they were gonna go to Boston and spend the day in Boston, and Kelsey and I had plans. That bug's on the outside, bro.
Let it go. Nope, I think
that's
on
no,
the
that's
inside.
the inside. Fucking eat it.
Oh, look, a raisin.
I'm surprised she's attacking it.
She can see it. It's super close up. No one's getting these jokes. She has a cat.
She has eye problems.
Has eye problems, and so we always say it's blind because I always say it's blind because it literally can't not like it's.
Her eyelids fold in, and it looks like it. Her eyes.
And she's caught on something which we're like, she can see.
Anyway, so we had lunch plans with Kelsey's family,
right?
And so we were just gonna say goodbye before they left on Sunday, and then Kelsey asked if we could move it to dinner, and if I'd want to go, and I was like, I wanted to go, but mentally I didn't want to go because I knew it was going to be even harder to drag out. And then we were able to switch it, so we went to Boston with them, and we were going to go to the aquarium when we first got there, but then none of us thought to buy tickets ahead of time, or we didn't think it'd sell out. Like
that place, yeah.
I didn't know that was a thing. So
yeah.
We got there at like 12:30, 1 o'clock, and the next availability they had was 3:40. And we were like, but at that time we still didn't have like a solid plan of when dinner was going to be, at what time. So like I'm trying to get an answer out of these people because they're visiting us, so I don't know what the fuck they're doing.
Right.
I'm like, whatever, like works, like we'll make something work. And then finally they're like, okay, we'll do 6:30 or whatever. So it worked out that we could go, but we walked around Boston, and then we went to the aquarium, and towards the end of the aquarium, Kelsey and I just like we were really excited in the beginning, like, ooh, like I love the aquarium. But then towards the end we're like, okay, like we don't want to leave because that means then we have to say goodbye. And so we were waiting for everyone to use the bathroom, and then Kelsey and I just kind of like looked at each other, and she put her sunglasses on, and I knew that she was going to cry. And then that made me cry because I was trying to hold back the tears anyways, like since we left the last exhibit. And then you're gonna cry now, and it's gonna be
no. I actually have this great memory. This is like, it's weird for me because it's like I'm sad, happy for Brian, and like, it's kind of like because I'm at that age where it's like fly little bird fly type of attitude because I'm old, like. You kids,
and that's how I feel.
Like you're because you're my best friend's daughter, like and I call you my niece. I feel like you guys are all my kids' age, or could be my kids' age. So it's always like, all right, time for you to fly. All of you guys fly. Like, but you made me think of a great moment for me. We went down to Tennessee to see my friend Ryan. I talked a lot about that, passed away. He loves fish, and he loves fishing. He loves all that. And we went to the Tennessee aquarium, which was huge. It was like 2 buildings. And that man, like, was one point where we stopped. This happened throughout the whole thing, but there's one point I really remember because it was like this like ramp that kind of went up an aquarium type of thing. And he just stood there, and he just had a moment where he looked like instantly a 6'6", 6'5" grown man, looked like a 10-year-old just staring at this giant aquarium, and he didn't move. He just stood there, and you could see he was just looking at like everything. And Shannon goes, "Wow, he really." I was like, "Oh, he's always like we've always done this. Like, we had gone to bars, we had gone to different things, and we were talking about it." And it just like I just think of him because that is so stitched in my brain of the one of the last times I saw my best friend.
Yeah.
And because he's passed on, so it's like my last like moment of his. It's just peace. It was quiet in there, and you could just hear just like tinks, like the water kind of bubbling. You know, like
in a movie.
You could just hear it, and it's just like, and he was just like, you just see his shoulders go down. You just see like he just looked so much in peace, and it was like. And I remember Shan says, "Well, he really likes the stuff." I said, "Oh yeah, he loves it. He could do all of this, you know." And so I just, as much as this is sad for me, like you're talking about, like leaving and knowing, like there's a picture of us walking in. Shannon took a picture of us walking to the aquarium because he was excited to go. He's like, I can't believe we're going. And I still have that picture now. It's actually on my phone. And there's times I'll just stare at it. And of course he's towering over me and I'm basically tying a shoe, you know, and I just, and you're talking about like the tears, and I cry at that picture.
Yeah.
And even though it feels like Brian's going away forever, he's not. Not like Brian did.
Yeah.
It's tough though.
Yeah.
So did you guys all break down right when you got to the very end?
Yeah. Well, we were like,
or is it just you two
silently crying to ourselves, and like Brian like went over and hugged Kelsey, but Javier came out of the bathroom and I felt bad. He was like, I went in there and I missed something. I was like, you missed? Like, what do you mean you missed? Like, what the fuck were you doing in there?
By a fish.
No, he was like, no, I went in there, and because he has a cute little accent, he's like, I went in there and I came back out and I missed something, and I was like, oh, so basically, like Kelsey and I realized that like we're leaving the aquarium, which means that you guys are leaving, and like we're just not okay right now. And I walked away because I didn't want to be crying in the aquarium. But then like we went to the car, paid $42 for parking.
No one will know that more than I, because when we were leaving Tennessee, it was 1:00 in the morning. We were leaving like 1 or 2:00 in the morning to drive 17 hours back to Rhode Island. And I've talked about this before, but I told him, he came over and gave me a hug and said, you know, you're okay. And I instantly told him I loved him. And I said to him, I don't think we're going to see each other again. And he says, well, what do you think's going to happen? I said, I'm not saying it's you. It might be me. I don't think we're going to see each other again. He gave me a big hug and gave me a few things from his father that he wanted me to have because I was very close to his father. And gave me a big hug and I cried. I mean, I went to the car ugly, crying, and it's tough, and it's tough. Like even with Brian, it's tough. I mean, even though you know it's not like that, there's so much life that he's going to live that it's so. And we all know things can happen. Like something can happen to me, something can happen to you, and when I see you every Thursday,
yeah,
we know it. But when it's someone going away like that, it is really hard. And you are very close into his life. And I know he, even in this podcast, he's always in there, always seems to be laughing. I mean, we've had sorry grandmas with we just laughing with tears in our eyes. Like he is the funniest person in the world. And you're happy, sad. It's the crappiest emotions in the world because you feel selfish.
Yeah.
But you're trying not to be selfish because it's your friend.
Right. Because I want him to go. I want him to do whatever he wants.
Right.
The selfish part of me is like, he was always out of hand's reach.
Right. No, 100%.
I'd call him over so that way I could clean my house.
Yeah.
I'm like, I need you to sit here so I can clean because if you don't sit here, I'm just going to fuck around. And I just need you to
just be here.
Yeah. You don't have to lift a finger or do anything.
Yeah. No, it's like that too.
It's getting a supervisor.
I said the same thing when I got in the car and I drove. I told the exact same thing to Shannon. She looked at me like I had 10 heads.
Yeah.
And I drove away and my heart broke. I cannot explain where it came from, but I knew it. And as I drove away, it was like I was saying goodbye, like goodbye.
Mm-hmm.
And then when I found out that he had passed on a year later, she looked at me like, you called that? And I still to this day have the banner up on my Facebook, which is Shannon, me, and him at a bar at Nashville. And every time I look at it, I can't bring it. I can't take it down. Like it's, I can't. I keep saying I'm going to take it down.
Yeah.
Like I have kids, I have things. Like I have pictures. You know, I have this, I have that, and I can't. I can't do it. I can't. I have other things I want to celebrate. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's the only thing I can tell you is as soon as he gets settled, when he gets settled, an apartment, wherever, or, you know, and he calls that one time, or you know, you really talk to him, you it does it doesn't hurt. It takes a little bit. Like, okay, you're okay now. You're good. And it's like once you get, it's like right now, it's the what ifs. I can't believe it's like Saturday nights are done. The also thing that I know you
those were done anyways because he's a bartender, so we didn't have Saturday night.
Yeah,
Except in the winter.
Yeah. The other thing is, I don't know. I think this is trying to show my age again, which I feel like both of the kids love to throw in that almost 50, you know. I was like, yes, thank you. I get it. I'm old. You're in your early 20s. This from 18 to about, I'm going to say nowadays 30. In my day, it used to be like 28, 27. This is where everyone's like getting married. They start having kids. And then all of a sudden, you're not friends with them. I mean, your dad and I, we weren't close friends right after high school because Ashley. And he had to.
Damn it, Ashley!
No, he had to grow up.
Even in this day,
he had to. I mean, let's be honest. He had to grow up. He had to be. He had to become a parent, an adult, a father, a man, or whatever words you want to put. He had to become something, and then little did you know, then you came along. Then so it was like never ending for him of being an adult. And then I met him 10 years later again at the at our reunion, and then we instantly became friends. But that was 10 years for him to get settled, to become who he is. But in those first 10 years, it would have been hard because he was trying to figure it out. It's hard to explain. From 18 to like your 20s, your friends all start like, even the people I used to hang out with at the bar and hang out, like they all end up getting married. I got married. I had a kid. I went through divorce. You know, some people stay married forever, and you're like, dude, I can't believe it. I have friends on Facebook that I've known since like fourth grade or whatever, and they're married, 3 kids. You know, I was like, wow. I have this one friend who always wanted to hook up, wants to be friends. Hey, you want to hook up and want to go have a couple beers? I'll be like, yeah, all right, let's see. I'm just like, hold on, I gotta ask my wife here. Hold on. And you're like, what? He's like, yeah, I gotta ask the boss if I can go out tonight. And you're like, I would never think you were like that. Like, not that, because you always have to talk to your wife. But he was like, I gotta talk to my wife. No, she said no. I can't go out this week. I'm like, oh, okay. But it's the way he makes it. So you're like, dude, really? But everybody's got something, and the older you get, the more everyone separates and goes their separate way. I don't think I'm as close as your dad as I used to be. Not because, but your dad's life is 1,000 times different than when I first met him. No, I mean, when I met him for the first time, and you guys were all little, I don't even think Ashley was in high school yet. I think she was still in middle school when I first.
Because we were little.
Yeah, you were little. I bought toys for you, like toys for you. For you
I'm
and
the good kind of toy. Still waiting for that.
No, I
know. You never buy me toys anymore.
No, but and life changes so much, and that's what you're going through right now, and that's what happened to me after Gary, Pat, and Dave went their separate ways right after high school. I had 2 other friends that about a year or 2 later, one joined the Marines, one moved down to North Carolina, and that changed. And then I was alone again because I stayed in Rhode Island. I stayed where everyone left. And then I met Ryan, and then I had my adventures with Ryan for the next 10 years or whatever that was. And then, it just doesn't stop. And then he left. and he got married and had 2 kids, and so it never stops. It's just I find it's your first one of your crew, which is really amazing. You guys held on as much as you have, and one thing I've learned is they're not bad people. You feel mad, you feel selfish because you're mad, but they're just trying to be happy. Like you're happy. You found happiness right here. Like and you found Kelsey, and it's amazing. And I don't think anyone would change anything. But I'm sure he wants that happiness too, which he has found, and we hope that it's a long happiness because there's no rule book on these things, and it's tough because that's one thing that I don't think people talk about. It's like as you get older, you're like, yeah, I don't talk to this guy anymore. I used to talk to him all the time. I don't talk to him anymore. I mean, I have Facebook friends I used to religiously talk to, and I barely talk to.
Yeah, I'll send the Joker out tomorrow.
Yeah, thanks, Jack. Like great example. I met Jack online, and now we're friends. Like I talk to him quite a bit. But I used to have another friend, John Brewer, that when I had the Goofy Who page and I constantly talked to him, and we don't talk as much because it's 12 years later, things change.
I think it's harder too because like we got to say goodbye, whereas like a lot of your friends just kind of like
they disappear. Just fizzle. They fizzle out. Like it's weird because I always think, and okay, no disrespect, but I always think they are going to fizzle out, not purposely. Like, and I say they because I'm pointing up to this because I always think Sam and Joey are very close to you.
Yeah.
But I think it'll be that one day, like, okay, we got married now. Okay, I'm pregnant, or we want to have a baby, or we can't live here anymore. Okay, I'm going to move here. Yeah. And then all of a sudden when they move, wherever here is might be not as convenient to you to just be like, remember when I used to pop upstairs and see Sam and just like spend, or she come down and spend 20 minutes and blow up her pan upstairs,
Yeah. And we always joke about it. Like, I said to her one day, I was like, I feel like I take up a lot of your time. If you want to go hang with the other friends, you can. She's like, well, one of my friends lives over here, so I don't want to drive over there. And one of my friends will live over there, and then my other friend is too busy with their sitting up here other, and this person's over here, and I'm like, okay, let me know if I'm too much.
That's the one thing I've learned about friends is that they like okay, for like friends, Jack and I.
She did say I was convenient, and I was like,
you're the convenient.
You're not wrong, but it kind of hurts.
It does happen that way, though. You meet people in your life, and like I'm blessed that I've met a lot of people in my life, but they're only for a short amount of times. It's like high school. You get new friends every 5 years. It feels like every 5 years, it's like you reboot. There are friends that hold on, but then what happens is something changes. Like, for instance, Jack and I are very close because we both collect action figures. So sometimes I look at Target. I look in the areas because he lives in like Ohio and that area, like the Michigan area. So like he always seems to be driving around. He's like, oh, I found this, I found that. And the problem is that he finds stuff I'm like trying to find money for. I'm like, hold on, I don't have the money this week. I don't have the money. I'm like, you can't send it to me, bro. You can't. I don't have the money. Or like, and every time he's like, you found anything? And I feel like I need the last stop because it always seems to go West Coast to East Coast for action figures. So I'm like, dude, I haven't found anything in like weeks. And then one day he's going to just say, yeah, I'm done. Yeah. I'm done. I don't want to collect anymore. Or it's always that way. Or I'm going to do something different. And I'm going to take my money and do this. And then we grow apart because it's not like we're at the stores looking at the same thing and you don't talk as much. But you're still friends. You're just like, hey, what's up? Hey, I haven't talked to you in a while. How you been? And that seems to happen to me a lot in my life where, like, I have certain people I was friends with, I was very close with, and I'm not friends with anymore. I feel like there's one friend I used to be best friends with when I was in elementary school at a private school called the New School, which is called the Penfield now. But there was a kid that I was super close with. I did everything with. I actually still eat something that he got me hooked on, salami and brown mustard. like with the peppercorns in it, and he would wrapped it up and just eat it that way. We used to sit at the refrigerator at his house with the door open, and like elementary school, and be like, "Oh, try this." I'd be like, "This is good." And then you get the hot pepper, and you'd be like, "No, not good, not good." And he's like, "I hate that." Sometimes you gotta pop them out, you know. And we would talk for hours. We did this thing where we set up a old fashioned cart. Not I'm trying to think what it is. A shopping cart, but it had lower wheels, if that makes sense. It wasn't one of those real tall ones. It was like a short one, and it kind of we went down a hill, and we were just getting full of dirt because we just crashed. We came back, and his poor mother was like, because we were like from dirt from like head to toe, and they were like, "Oh my God, I have to send you back to your mom," like that, because I had the day over. And I remember the whole day, and I remember having the best of times with him in elementary school. From I can remember our first time hanging out in first grade. It might have been earlier, but it was like first grade to like almost fourth. Yeah, I would say till fifth grade. Like we hung out all the time together, and I don't talk to him anymore at all. Yeah, and I don't see him at all, and I can never talk to him because he's actually famous. So it's like I'm like, I'm not gonna. That's weird. Yeah. So I would never like. I know there's friends that have pictures of him. Like, look, I met him at the golf course. Like, I wouldn't even know what to say. Like, hey, remember us hanging out in fourth grade? remember when we ate salami? You know, like, I'd be like, I'm a loser. I'd be like, I don't talk to him. Like, I just get like, I could never say anything to him because I just feel like I would be a complete like smo. Like, oh, are you a fan? Like, oh, are you coming over? I'm like, no. I just want to say, like, I still remember hanging out all the time. There's pictures of us at McDonald's birthday party. Perfect. Sometimes I want to post that and be like, who's this famous person I'm with? Because, you know, and they would be like, oh my gosh. And I'd be like, yeah, that's me and him. I mean, other people are friends with him too. I mean, it's not, but I always feel stupid. I shouldn't, but I always feel stupid with that type of stuff. Yeah. Like, you know, and I know other people too. I miss all my riding friends. I still talk to people that, you know, I used to ride with. One of them was Missy Parrish that comes on here. I know she's married now, not Parrish, but we were closest friends, and we still talk. And we always like, hey, how you doing? How's your kid doing? And it's weird because it's all about kids, and it's like years later, you know. Yeah. This is a person I hung out when I was 14, 15, 16. Weird. Mm-hmm. So that's how life is, and it's hard. It's hard at the moment. Yeah. It does get better. I told Kelsey when we got in the car, I was like, I feel like he died. Like, we're grieving over him, and he didn't. Like we shouldn't be grieving this hard. Actually, I'm the opposite. I feel like everyone who's passed on, I feel like moved away. That's why I like to think in my head, because it makes it easier. I know that sounds real stupid, but I have a really close friend who passed away when I was 15, and I got back. I was at a horse show, and I got back, and he had injured / had passed away the weekend I left. It happened, and I had come back the weekend after, so everything was done. And to this day, people will like put up like little memory things of Joe, and I'll just be like, I just feel like he's living in California and I don't know it. Like, I'd seen the grave, like I've been to his grave. Yeah. I've said my piece. I know, I always tell him, I introduced him to Marin when he was born. I'm stupid, but I did. I was like, hey, Joe, look, I had a kid. Can you believe, or my son, hey, look, can you believe I had a kid, you know? But I know he's there, but there's always a piece of me is like, nah, he's down the street somewhere. I just don't see him anymore. Same thing with my very, very first girlfriend. She lives in the island. I've never seen her. Like, no, I see her on Facebook. She was invisible? Now, you know the island's not that big, but it is that big. Yeah. Because she literally is on the island, and I never, or I see her in the car driving by, and I'd be like, I think that was Chris. Like, you know, I've talked to her on Facebook. Hey, how you doing? Or, you know, she just runs the other way. She sees you first. Like, fuck that. She's running. Yeah, she's probably like, come on. She's just going to disguise everywhere she goes. She's like, I can't fucking talk to this guy. He's an ass. Worst 5th grade to senior year ever. No, but it's. I always just think like, how do we not just bump into each other? Like, just be like, hey, how are you? How you been? I saw pictures of your daughter, so cute. Like, it's just a small island.
You always bump into people you don't want to.
Yes, that is, or a person I'm not ready for, and I'm like, who are you? I know you. God, how do I know you? Please, please. That's okay. I told you the story about Pat, right? We bumped into Uncle Pat, Pat, at Combe's. And I said, hello, Mr. Grant. He goes, hello, Mr. Perry. All formal. Mm-hmm. And we're sitting there, and I go grab drinks, and Shannon goes, oh, do you know that older man? I said, wait, what? I'm like, Pat? And he's like, yeah, you said Mr. Grant. And I said, Pat's my age. She's like, he is?
Yeah, I did tell you that.
She's like, that guy looks old. I was like, she's like, because he's all gray now. He's like, he's a silver fox. I was like, how did you get even better looking?
See, the problem I have is like, I love all my parents' friends.
Yeah.
But like when I don't see them all the time, they want to do the small talk. And I'm like, can we skip this? And what's new? I'm like, I don't fucking know. Literally, because I don't know what's new to you. Because I'm living it. So literally, same with like family you don't see all the time.
That's the best with when I see Pat. Hello, Mr. Grant. Hello, Mr. Perry. How are you? Good. How's the mom and dad? Mom and dad, good. How's your mom and dad? Good. That's good. I'm glad. Make sure you say hi to Ron and Mary. Make sure you say hi to Bob and Georgette. All right. Have a good day. That's our conversation every freaking time I see Pat. It's never anything besides maybe I'll say hi to kids for me. Like, like I might throw that in. Yeah. But his kids don't know me from a hole in the wall. So I don't even know why I even say it.
Yeah.
Like, I think I just say it out of like that. Well, the kid's important to you. I'll throw that out.
When I was working at Clements, I see him a lot, and the kids didn't know me at first, but I would like talk to him, and then as they saw me more, they're like, "Oh, Jesse's over there, go that line."
Well, it was you guys were different because Marin would always be like, "Jesse's over there," and like my dad's like, "Some girl talked to me." I'm like, "Is it Jessie?" I don't know. She was kind of young, brown hair. I was like, "It was Jessie. You've met her."
I literally look like my dad. How do you not know? I'm like I am a spitting image.
There's some moms and dads I see, and I just like my day moms, and like like when I bump into like Gary's mom, I just kind of like, hi. She's the one who wants to hear like those type of parents. Yeah. So how you been? What are you doing? Are you with that girl? Did you marry her? Like not that she says that, but like people in that generation, like moms, always seem to stop me, and it's always like those are the small talks I get like. Yes, no.
This was a 5.
Like, is this like a written test? Can I have this a written test? So I could just check out A B abracadabra, perfect. Here you go. Because that's always seems to be the way for me. Like it always seems to be like, have you married that girl? Are you married? Are you still single? Do you talk to you? Like, how's your kids doing? And then the worst is the whole that I lie now. I lie. So how's your son? Amazing, good. Because you're just like
he's living his best life.
Like you just get like because you're just like I don't know what do I have to go through the whole story?
Oh, he has daddy issues.
Like like what am I supposed to say? Like I don't want to go through the whole story of my life.
Right.
I wonder if other people do this. I just get like, for me, I just like.
Well, it's like you want to leave the drama out of it.
Like see, the other thing is too when people ask you how you're doing, it's like please tell me just something good. Like don't tell me your crap because I don't want to hear it. So it's like I'm fine. How's your son?
Great.
Can you not ask me that question? Because it's not going to be like he's fine. Oh, he's yeah.
What's he up to?
Yeah, no, that's the I'm like that's when it becomes I don't know. He doesn't talk to me. Like, oh, and then it starts at
what
now I have to ask you because I feel, and then you're just like, no, you don't. Like you don't need to know. Like just leave it alone. I don't even know. Like I'm going to throw out something. I'd be like, I don't have a clue.
Yeah. I looked at my phone.
Then they're like, oh, so do you have a daughter? Yeah, I have a daughter. How's she doing? I'm good. I actually know that one. Like,
no one talks to me.
Like, I can actually talk about that one. She's learning how to drive. She got a permit. Like, then you can go through the whole thing. But there's always that one that's like wants to know, like, stupid. Like, are you still with that girl? And you're like,
which one?
Yeah, you're like, with the which one. You do. Because there's been times where they're like, you're still married to that girl, right? And I'm like, no, I'm not married. Like, no, I was only married for 4 years. She left. Oh, really? And you're like, that was like,
you been?
That's like, I got married in 2000. By 2004, she was out. Like, where are you? Like, it's 2023.
Right.
Oh. So, and then they want to know, like, oh, I have a daughter. With who? And then you're like, oh, God. With the
not
one
the
you're with? Like, you're not with that one. The next one. Mm-hmm. Oh, you still with that one? No. Like, you're making me sound real bad here. Can we just get to the...
At least you don't have kids with Shannon.
Yeah. Oh, I've had a few of those. I've had a few. Oh my gosh, he looks just like you. No, he doesn't.
I love when
I don't get. You know,
when
Colin.
Maeve was like, when people see Maeve, like, oh my gosh, she looks just like you. I'm like, impressive.
Not even the same bloodline. Not even the same bloodline.
She's white.
But she's blonde, isn't she? A cute little blonde girl. You're not even blonde.
Like white blonde.
Yeah, I know. That's why I said a platinum blonde. Right. Like she's like, yeah. Because I've seen a few pictures here and there, and I'm always like, because when you said, oh.
Do you see it?
Yeah. Yeah,
just like me.
Just like you. Well, it looks just like you.
Right.
Nailed it. Right. No, it's just always like that, or it's like, and it's always, I always feel like we're awkward. Like, it's just like, so I always do the, you know, even with your dad. Hi, how you doing? What's going on? How you been? I go a little more with your dad. You know, how's Jane doing? You know, I hope everything's going good. Working hard, hardly working. Ha ha ha. Like you do that whole cheesy crap.
Yeah.
You know, and you just kind of get through it, and you just kind of like walk away, and you're like.
I think that's why I don't like meeting people, because you have to do the whole small talk where I just want you to tell me what's going on in your life that you.
You know what gets me every time? Gets me. I hate it. We gotta go out sometime. No. You have no desire to go out with me. Right. You have no desire.
This is not gonna work.
You're like, no. You gotta call me. You know what? Now it's been a long time. You and I. Why don't you come over? We'll just have a couple beers and we'll just talk. You know, just to see how you're doing. You know, like I missed that. And you're like, nope, no, you don't. No, you don't. Because I'm gonna sit there by the phone and I'm gonna wait for you. And you're never texting, never writing, never calling, nothing. And then I'm just going to be like, until we bump into each other, like, have we had that beer yet? No, we haven't. And it's like, and then you get to a point where.
Yes, we did.
I was trashed the whole time. And then you get to a point where, like, just don't do that. Just leave it alone. It's okay. You don't have to do that. You don't have to, you don't have to make me feel good. I get it. You don't want to hang out. I get it. Like, it's just, we feel like we go through these motions.
I don't want to hang out with you.
Clearly.
Time to wrap it up.
100 and some odd episodes were too many.
Yeah. 109 now. 108 is kind of like,
that was like
pushing it, you know?
This is straight vodka.
No, this is gay vodka.
Oh, man. I just don't get any of that stuff. Like, I just don't get it. And I don't. That, or I never get when people are like, I don't know if this happened to you. You ever get like people that you haven't seen in a long time, and then they see you, and all they're doing is remembering you from the last time they saw you. So you still play with those? You're like, what? No, I'm like 47. Like I haven't played with G.I. Joes like forever. What are you talking about? Like, you know, you're still doing those horse things? Yeah. Yeah, I'm 500 pounds right now, and I'm still riding. Actually, someone rides me.
The horse.
We have a 15-year-old girl who shots a saddle on me, and I have to jump over fences. Like, what? What do you think? Like, I'm a hot mess. I have the fences. I applied to be the fence, and they told me I was too small. The horse could step over me. I was a rail, so I lost my job. Like, you're like, come on. Like, no, I don't ride anymore. Like, are you in the business? I'm like, no, I'm out of it. Why is that?
Why not?
And you're like, damn, are you writing a book? I love those people, like writing a book people. And you're just like, they ask personal stuff. And you're just like,
what's your social security number?
No, it's like, you still own that house? Yeah. You know, like next to your parents' house, like, you know, that house. Yeah. Next to your business there? Yeah, with the new sign. I saw the new sign. Yes.
I thought you guys closed.
We got a new sign.
New sign came back. So I was like, yes. Still not going to bring my dog there.
You're like, what? You're like, what?
I drive past it all the time. Yeah.
You just sit there and you just go, what? Those are the people who complain about. I love going when I was younger, going to family things, and they complain about things you do, and like this is literally me. Like you know how there's a circle, always a circle. There's always that group of people in the party, and you're like walking along, and you're like, and you go into it because you're like, oh, what's this? Like, and they're like, so I had my dog groomed yesterday, and you're like, oh fuck, get out of here. Or like, I had my hair done. You're like, oh god, oh please, because you know. Mm-hmm. Oh wait a minute, Niles is here. Niles is here. Niles is here. We got a question for you. You're like, please God no, please God no, please God no, please God no.
What do you charge?
What do you charge for a dog, for this little dog? Okay, we usually get it clipped down. Okay, we get it shaved down completely, like shaved down. I mean, like shaved down. Like,
I want to see the skin.
I want to see skin. Okay, but the place where, but the place that I'm going to is giving razor burn, and it like look, I had to have like 4 stitches here because it was cut down so short, and and you're like, okay. They're like, first of all, do you know why it happens? Yeah, because as they're clipping so close, they're using a really short blade that gets really hot, and they're not changing the blade, which is burning them because it gets hot, because it's metal rubbing against metal. Like that's what a clipper is, right? Same thing with hair, right? Oh, all right. So what do you guys do about that? And you're like, well, you keep changing the blade, or there's stuff that you can put on the blade. It depends on, situation and what you're doing. All right. So how much does that be? I'm like, well, it'd be this. Whoa! My groomer, who just gave him 5 stitches and burnt half his body over. It's like $5 there. I gotta go back there, and you're like, okay. And then you stand there, you're just looking at everybody, and they're like, you charge that much? Oh my god, the burnt sounds better. And you're like, you just paid $500 worth of vet fee. Yeah, but that's cheaper than your $80 or whatever. Whatever it is. And you're just like, what? Doesn't even make sense. But yet I have no word of a lie. I know you've had those people. I know you have, because it's people like, oh, how much did you do for a perm and color? And you're like, so what color are you doing? Like you break it down, and then you kind of say between 100 and something, or like you have that.
I always give the starting.
Yeah,
like it starts at this.
Right.
We'll see.
Well, yeah, and then
because I'm tired of giving the
in betweens, and then we're like, oh my god, it was $5 more than you said. I only brought this.
Yeah, and then I feel bad, and I take away from what I should be earning.
Right. Yeah.
And then I'm like, okay, well, I guess I'll just charge you this because.
And then next thing you know, they're like, I could have got. The worst is, I could have got cheaper at Fantastic Sam's, and you're like, you should have gone back to Fantastic. You should have.
I had a customer tell me the other day. So we have a special pedicure going on right now.
Okay.
And we have the pricing on there.
No, I know I'm an idiot. What makes it special, may I ask?
So it's.
I'm sorry that I have to ask. It's a stupid question.
So we have we have 3 different types of pedicures. We have
She's like, starting off with letter K.
So we have a mini pedi, which is like I literally just clip your nails, and if you want lotion, clean up your toes, and put lotion on you, call it a day. Right. Yep, and paint them if you want them painted. Our pedicure, or like pedicure, full pedicure is you have a scrub and a mask added to that.
Right.
So it takes about an hour.
Plus the stuff.
Clean up. Yeah. So
keep adding stuff to it. Yep.
And then our special pedicure is like a special flavor that we're doing. So
you putting flavors on someone's toast?
Hint.
Strawberry.
Sorry. So and this one has like a special thing that we put in the basin to a bath bomb to it.
Right.
And it has like certain benefits to it, so it's going to cost a little bit more.
Right.
So
that makes sense. Sorry that I asked. Yeah.
So, it's only $5 more than our regular.
Because we're not talking like what you're adding on. It's not like, oh, so we're gonna
bring the stones and like
yeah. It's not like there's 100 things added. Like 3 more things that makes it a little more expensive. Why it's $5 more each step. Yeah, I'm just an example.
Yeah.
Right.
So And then if you want designs, that adds to it too,
Right,
because
right.
that takes more of my time.
Right. And that's painting designs, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm not trying to be a smart ass. I'm being serious.
Depending on who you are, I won't charge you, but if you want them done. But so we have it listed,
right?
And so she and because we're trying to promote it, it's up. And she was like, "Oh, that's a lot for her pedicure. Like I could go down the street and get it for X amount." I'm like, "Then go." Because I don't want to fucking cut your hair, let alone do your toes.
I know. I love when people come in, and it's like I don't know why they think this. They like right away. I can get this cheaper here, and you're like,
then do it.
Then go there. Like that just like I want to be like, how stupid are you to walk in somewhere and be like, it's cheaper down there? Why aren't you going down there?
Right.
Well, they burned my dog. Well, that's why it's cheaper.
Yeah.
Or whatever,
Because they don't fucking care about your dog.
They're doing it because they only want the money. Like that's why it's cheap. They don't want you through the front door. Mm-hmm. I can't tell you how many people are like that, and it's just I don't know. It's just people seem to be amazing me lately. Yeah. Did you see what Walmart did
with the signs?
No, with the cash registers.
No.
In Swansea.
I haven't been in Swansea in a while.
Okay.
Go ahead. What happened?
This is when I love when people get your hopes up for something, and then I want to be like, I told you, motherfucker! Like, I want to scream that. Mm-hmm. So, I don't, if you went down to Swansea at one time, there used to be a nice little square that had self-checkout, and it was a square. Mm-hmm. And there was a guy in the middle, or woman in the middle, whomever, and they just kind of looked around. And they had a little handheld, and if there's a problem, they could just fix you. Mm-hmm. Well, now they have 4 or 5 legit cashiers, people who do the cashiers. So they got rid of all those things, and now they put self checkouts, but instead of being in a square, it's like 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4 1 2 1 2, and now instead of being like a small area, it's a giant area because it's all these lanes now. And then then it's 5.
Did they take the square away too, or is that?
Yeah, no, it's square. It's gone.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
Right. So then it's the 5 people who actually do I don't want to say do their job, but are cashiers. And then the same thing on the other side that was over here of the 1 2 1 2 1 2, then 1 2 3 4, and they're in a row. And that's it. Right. And so Shane's like, oh, good. There's more self checkouts, and I'm like, okay, this is crap. And she's like, why? I'm like, because not everyone wants to do it. It works for us because we have 3, if you will, 3 families, and we try to, when we go grocery shopping, this goes in this bag, this goes with this, and then we separate it when we get in the car, by bags wise, this is yours, this is mine, this is. So, we're sitting there. So, we always park at a particular door because you go in, do your thing, and you leave, right? Mm-hmm. That's just that's common sense. Mm-hmm. If you're going in one door and then leaving the other and then walking across the whole parking lot,
clown.
Broken. You're broken. You're not thinking things through. So we go in, we go shopping, and we go shopping. I feel like that's the way it works with 3 family, kind of the 3 family tricks. By the time you leave, your cart is way more than it. The side that we parked, all the lanes are all red, so they're not open. The only thing that's open is the 5 people, and half of the other side, but it's half all the way on the other side. So it's not even the closest of the ones. They were all shut too. And then what happens is they look like they didn't want to, they're like, okay, since we have all these stuff out, we don't have to hire as many people, and we'll just turn on and off lanes, self-checkout lanes. So literally, I had to check out over here to walk all the way over here because this is where I parked. And I didn't go out that door. I walked right. Best part. People who check your cart are all standing there and no one over here. Because all those lanes are closed. I literally walked out with no one even, because they go, the whole bag trick. And I'm like, that kills me too.
So when I go, I also use the self checkout, but
I don't hate it. I'm just not.
No. That's not the part that
okay.
will annoy you.
Okay.
So I come in. I go to the Fall River one.
Okay,
so
right.
where I park, it's like the home section,
yep,
the medicine and whatever. So I always go in that way because I always need something over there. So I want to go over there first because then
that's fine.
I do all my shopping and I work my way up. I always go back 8,000 times because I forget something. But then, like the other day, I swear to God, my ADHD was so fucking bad. Like I went back 15 times.
Just for the record, I have the same thought as you, but I do the full circle. See, we park at the food section because we end at the food section, and that's where we go out of. So that means we go and we walk to the medication.
I don't know if you've ever driven in Fall River.
But I'm just saying, for me.
But it's annoying because if I want to park, you come in the parking lot this way.
Right.
And if you want to park over here, you have 15,000 stop signs just to get back over here.
Yes.
So I want to park over here because
You're talking about the one that used to have the old Sam's next to it. Yeah, I know which one you're talking about.
Yeah, so I don't want to do the 30,000.
I get it.
No, but I park over here.
I'm not saying your thing was wrong, but I'm just for me, I do the full circle. So when we go in, we're at foods, we see it, but we don't go that way, and we just do the full circle, and then we cash out here, and then we're supposed to leave, and my car is right down, usually in the first 2 rows, but I park in Guam because, I don't want to park any place close, or everyone's like, smashing you for some reason.
Right. So then I go to the checkout lane that's near the grocery side, and not where I parked. And that's what's going to annoy you. Because it's just there. And usually I. So
then you have to walk.
But then I walk that way. But that doesn't bother me. If I was doing it outside, that'd bother me. Like I'd be like, that's silly.
Same thing. It's the same thing. Same amount of distance outside or inside.
Inside.
Just justify it. Like just keep justifying any way you can. Still wrong. No, I don't know what it is because Shannon's always like, "Why are you this way?" I'm like, "We walk in, we walk by stuff." We walk by the clothes, and usually Shannon wants to look at clothes for Grayson or like a T-shirt for me or something. Like we're always looking for something because there's always little gems at Walmart. I always feel like there's always like a gem, like oh that's cute, and it's at Walmart, and it's like I just bought 2.
What we need to not bring back though is that white shirt with the vest. That needs to be in the trash.
No, I just bought 2 thick shirts that with the hoodies, but they're shirts. They're almost like one of those shirts that you put like a T-shirt underneath, and then it's almost like a jacket shirt.
Yeah.
It's not a sweatshirt, but it's thicker than a shirt.
All you gotta use
and it's button up, and it's like you can button it or you can leave it unbuttoned.
Yeah. I know what you're talking about.
And it's and I was like, oh, those look really cool. I put it on, and I was like, oh, and they were like $15, and I was like, you know what? For every day, kind of just hack around, or in the cold, just to throw on for another layer because it has a hood. I was like, sign me up. Bought 2 of them.
I get a lot of my workout clothes there.
One of the things I like to buy there is like clothes that you don't care about because it's cheap enough that if like, oh, I ripped my T-shirt. It's not like you just spent $50 for a T-shirt. It's like $10 there or $20, and you're just like, I can live with that, even though. So we walk by that, and she looks at that, and that's easy. And then we walk by medicines, where she always has to pick up something from the pharmacy, and so then it's fine. And then the toys are right there, so that's where I want to go anywhere, right? And if she needs shampoo, it's right there. And then you go up there, and then you just turn left, and that's crafts and boxing where she goes. And then next thing you know, we're at the food at the very back, and then we work our way in the front, unless it's Shannon, and then she goes, I forgot I need cheese, and then we gotta walk all the way back for cheese, and then she's like, oh my god, I forgot we need garlic, and you're like, lady, where's your list? We can do everything good until we get to the food. When we get to the food, it's a hot mess every single time. I spend more time. What doesn't help is they just remodeled everything, so everything that used to be in order, like coffee used to be the first thing with the milk, now it's like almost at the end. And I'm always, and I'm like, why wouldn't you have coffee next to the creamers and stuff? Now they have the power drinks next to the creamers, and you're like, that doesn't make sense.
You know what I like? Creamer and
in my I'm like, dude, give me some Monster with a little creamer. I'm crack an egg in that bitch. Oh, crack a little egg in that. Nuke it for about a minute. You had me at hello. Oh shit! Put a little yogurt in. That's a smoothie, bitch.
You got your same aisle.
Same aisle.
Hell yeah, man.
Greek yogurt, I'm in. Not sleeping for 3 weeks, but I'm good.
I've been shitting for weeks though.
I feed it. You're like,
just pouring out of me. I lost so much weight on this because I can't keep it
in. What did you do? Just touch my tongue.
I like to drink mine on the toilet.
I don't even mess. I just gotta smell it, but it's like. I had to install handlebars. I was like, I won't fall off. Whoa! This one's a dude.
I haven't seen it though.
Wait a minute, do you have the one across and you have the 5 bar?
You know, I only had the cross one, but I think I needed the
NASCAR with the head brakes.
Is your toilet cushion? Mine is, because, you know.
For the push.
Heated seats. Because I've been there so long.
It's only heated because I've been there so long. The next guy's like, oh, you got heated seats. He's like, I've only been there for an hour, buddy. What do you do? I smelt my drink.
Yeah, I have permanent indents in my ass.
I have a ring around the asshole.
Oh, God, I'm glad nobody's watching.
I don't even care. I was going to be like, this is boring, and then get to the end going, wow, that escalated fast.
Well, I think she knows by now.
She's like, oh, don't worry, it'll get better. We're just going to get to this is a sad moment. Bambi. We'll get to the good part. Dude, did he just say ring around the asshole?
You know what would be great with that, though? My wet jacket from the automated sink.
So we'll end up going always back, and she's always going, we need this. Oh my God, we need this. Or the best is because the labels are like, oh, it's here. And then we go down the aisle and the labels are all wrong. We're like, there's none.
And then well, I don't know if you do it, but I search it online to see what aisle it is because I will not talk
I have a flip phone, bitch.
I know.
Searching nothing online.
I'll search it in the app, and then I'll go down that aisle and like, yeah, no, you're lying to me. Because you do not own this at all in the store.
I just feel like the only good thing is I always find someone else lost. They're like, "What's in this? The pretzel aisle?" And they're like, "Yeah, this is not the juice aisle." And you're like, or the best is
keeps you on your toes. You know,
the best is it used to be the juice aisle and the those like mixed drink like Milo type of thing. Mm-hmm. Now Milo and those are in the Mayo, whatever Mio, but Mio, I don't know. And aisle is now part of the Monster aisle, like the power drinks and coffee. And I'm like, well, isn't it caffeine should be with the coffee? No, that's second to the end now, right before the refrigerator.
With the candy.
Nope, the candy's now on aisle, like way up. Like it's the third aisle, so your kid's like, ah! Where it used to be the last one, you'd be like, with your kid, like, do you see nothing? We're going down this aisle. No, you're not. No, you see nothing. Wait a minute, did I see? No, you didn't see nothing. Now it's like up front where it used to be
great,
like right at the end where you're like right before the refrigeration, so you'd be like, yeah, I don't need this. Now it's like right there, be like,
great.
They're like, you guys weren't buying enough candy, so we moved it up. They're like, between soup and taco night, you're like, what the? I don't need Reese's peanut butter cups. Get out of here.
I do, but I don't.
Girl, this shouldn't be this early. I can't make this decision. I have to buy real food, then come with this decision of like, because you have to do the do I have enough?
Yeah. Exactly. I never do. Yeah.
No.
I stopped doing cardio at the gym because I would go to the gym and then go to the store. I stopped doing that because I just go back and forth and go to Walmart and
I can't tell you. We can do that whole Walmart like a champ until we get to the food aisle, and then as soon as we get to the food aisle, I feel like it's like, did you buy? No. Oh, it's back there.
Fuck.
The best, or it's like the best is when she decides, you know what? I'm in the mood for tacos. Great. Sour cream was in the first aisle all the way back there. We'll just go back and get it. By the way, it's tacos, so pick up cheese. You know what? I'll just go with you. I'm like, perfect. We're just going to make a big, let's just move everything on the way. Let's put everything back and then grab everything again.
That's why I started figuring out what I want for meals before I go to the store, and then I write down everything that I need for each meal.
Yes, that's called that's called a list. And Shannon is anti-list.
Okay.
Because I've asked, I was like, make a list. Who needs a list? I'm like, we do. Because I actually lose weight because I feel like I'm lost.
Maybe that's her secret plan.
Yeah.
You got a wedding to plan for now. You got a wedding coming up. You gotta look great,
No, I don't. I do not.
It's for everyone else.
Nope.
Jesus.
I did the wedding for everyone else. It ain't happening the second time. Second time is going to be what we want. She's the only one to be like, I want this. And I feel like I'm literally, the only thing that I feel like what's going to happen is we're going to walk down with Bruins and Wild colors for hockey because she loves the Bruins. And she's going to be like, can you wear a Bruins hat? I'd be like, I said it's a we, not a you.
Yeah.
No. Because that's her attitude. The black and gold never lets her down. Mm-hmm. That's her attitude about it. Every time her life gets the lowest of, because like we all do, life gets like kind of shits on you and whatever. She's always like, her hockey never always starts at the same time, always ends the same time, always, Mm-hmm. And I always go, okay. I don't think I've ever been a fan of anything. And I've been a fan of stuff, but she is like so loyal. I've never, to this day, the thing she should be like, did you see the news? I'll be like, it might be just the media. I don't know. I've been thinking about like off season. We talk about off season. Did you see this? Did you see that? Can you believe this guy screwed us over? I'd be like, what? It's July. We're not even close. Can we just wait?
Simmer down.
Just breathe.
It's too hot for them.
No, she just loves the sport. And craziest thing is, I end up liking it. I end up listening to all the games. I've become a hockey fan. I mean, I've always been semi-hockey fan. Now I'm like, in the winter, we listen to games. We don't even listen to anything. We used to listen to little podcast things. We don't listen to nothing. It's game. And during the playoffs, we listen to every game we can listen to. There's no, like, she's like, let's listen to see who we're going to have to play against. I'm like, what? Well, we'll just listen. I'm like, okay, well, are we scouting the other team? Like, should I be taking notes? Be like, good skater, fast on. No, we do. We listen playoffs because she knows when she knows it's almost over, like totally. We'll get like she wants to listen to all the games because she knows that usually around the second round she starts getting like Friday, Saturday we have to listen to games, and I'm like, okay.
See, I like hockey, but I can't. Like, it's like fun to watch every once in a while.
Yeah.
Because I'm so. Like, I know it means everything to the players.
Right.
Because this is their profession.
Right.
But to me, like, it's just a game. It has nothing to do with me. If they lose, they lose, Well, but Kelsey and, like, everyone else is a hardcore.
I like the fact my dad always said this to me. I was younger and a sports game and my team lost and I cried. Like, I was much younger. And I remember being like totally.
This was last week, wasn't it?
2 days ago. I mean, I was devastated.
Much younger.
Okay, 3 days ago. Did the math wrong. No, and he said to me, he goes, listen, this game is important. They care. But don't forget, they still get paid. Mm-hmm. Like nothing, there's no real consequence.
Yeah.
there's always next year for them. Mm-hmm. That they can play harder, things can happen. And I was like, and I always think that because when I watch a game and they lose or whatever, and they walk away and some cry, some don't, some some are devastated, and you just kind of go, it's all right tomorrow. Like they'll bounce way back faster than us fans will because they get paid and they're going to be there tomorrow. They're going to be there tomorrow, if that makes sense. Yeah. And where we're like, I feel like as fans, especially throughout the years, fans are crazier now. Guy plays bad, get him out of here. You're like, whoa, he's simmer down. Like, breathe. Is his first year or his second year? I can't tell you how many times I just read. I can't be part of sports stuff anymore. I was part of a Timberwolf thing because I'm a basketball fan, and I can't tell you, like, oh, this is the worst year. I'm like, dude, he just got traded here. Like, he just got traded here. Like, it takes like a year for someone to get in the system. Get him out of here. Get this guy out of here. Get this guy. And you're like, so impatient. Like, if it doesn't work in 5 minutes, they want everyone out. I guess that's just the way the world is now. Yeah. All right, you ready? I'm ready. Are we leaving? We're leaving. We're leaving. No one's here anyway. Just us. Yeah, so. Well, no. Ashley. We missed you, Ashley. We'll say hi to you since you're going to listen to us. She's not listen to us on YouTube. Probably not. Sammy might. Sammy might. Hi, Sammy. I don't know if she's still listening to him. No she did listen to that one episode. Yeah, so one episode. I don't know if it was on YouTube. That was good enough for her. She was like, okay, this is too much. Yeah. She wants to listen. I can't handle it. You know? I can't handle a lot. Second one, she's like, this is definitely. My abs still hurt for that one. That's why she should have had handles. Right. All right. We'll catch you next time. Thursdays on Facebook. Tuesdays on YouTube. You can find us if anyone even wants to share it or whatever. Yeah. You know, just for the record, we don't do it for you. We do it for us. Yep. That's how much we care. Yep. Bye. Bye.